Okay, it is 6 o'clock. We will begin, and this is the City of East Peoria's Zoning Board of Appeals meeting, and this is the August meeting. On our agenda, the first item is roll call.
Driscoll.
Here.
Whitman.
Here.
Tippett.
Here.
Sams.
Here.
Kelly.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, next order of business is the approval of the minutes from the meeting held on July 14th. Do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from the meeting on July 14th.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Tim and George. First case of the evening is case SU-2025-009. That's the petition of Scott Briannon of the Loft Rehab for a special use to allow a shed in a front yard on the property located at 900 Centennial Drive. The property ID number is 01-01-24-100-024. Would the petitioner approach the podium, please? Will you state your name for me?
Scott Breenan.
Breenan. Okay, thank you.
Good.
And Scott, in order to proceed, you need to raise your right hand for me. And do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Excellent. Go ahead and explain what the situation is and how you plan to resolve it.
Okay, so the Loft had acquired this building about 2 years ago, January 1 of 23. And at that time, we bought it with the lease option of the two pods that were out there. The zoning has changed to where now that we can't have those sitting out in the back. And we completely understand that. We want to abide by that. But we also we had the need for storage. We're also a 5-star building, which even creates even more items that we have to have, we can have readily available. Unfortunately, with the way this building's laid out, there really is no backyard. There's no side yard. It's just kind of right out in the middle of it all. So we kind of picked the best spot we think that's probably the best spot for us in order to be able to get in and out of the building quickly without everybody, having to go very far. And we picked that corner there, and they're going to remove a couple of the boulders when they bring that shed. We'll pour a little ramp and for the garage entry, and pour a little one for the side entry for wheelchairs, all those type of things that we can get in and out of much easier. We can't really see anywhere else to put it because there's a ravine directly behind it, if you call it behind. So it really can't go there, and we don't want to put it on the front of the lot. So it's kind of, it really is the best option for us. And we don't like the pods either, to be honest with you. We never have, but they came with a lease and we took them. So we just, yeah.
Questions for Scott? Tim?
Sorry. I was looking in the notes. Do you have dimensions on the size of the building?
On the side, we have the side.
Size of the shed?
Oh, the size of the shed. Yes,
Yeah.
it's 12 by 30.
Okay.
And I also added electrical on it so we could actually light it. So it'll have windows. It'll be attractive. Yeah.
That's all.
Troy?
I have no questions.
Don?
I have no questions.
George?
I do have a question. So when you slide that shed in there, you got the side door that comes out with the sidewalk?
Correct.
Is it going past that, or is it does it cross that sidewalk?
Okay, so that there'll be a pad. Can I come up there, approach you, and show you where this is at? I actually have a picture of it.
I
Do you
know,
have it?
I couldn't see it in the picture.
Yeah, you can come up.
Yeah,
Just come close to the microphone so that we
Yeah,
can
there's
record
the
what you're
shed.
saying. There you go.
Okay, so right about here is where the door will be, and it'll come direct there, and then we actually have access into the building right there.
straight in, okay.
Correct.
Okay. That's all I have, thank you.
And then, Scott, just maybe the outside of the building, what did you plan on? Is it going to look more like the Loft or a Morton building?
No, it's the color of the building. So our building is brick, and this is kind of a medium brown wood siding.
Okay.
It's painted. I think it's attractive. I mean, it would be nice to do it in brick, but a little pricey. But we'll do some landscaping around it also to kind of make it a part of it. So,
Okay. I think I was just concerned that it was metal, so
No
I
metal.
think that's it for me.
Okay.
Anybody else want to go back? No questions? No. Okay, Scott, you can have a seat.
Thank you.
Is there anyone in the room that wishes to speak to the ZBA on this particular case? Seeing no one, Hearing no one? We will move on then, and the next case is case SU-2025-101, and that's petition of Alyssa Fairbanks for a special use to allow short-term rental on property located at 221 East Sheen Avenue, and that's property ID number 01-01-34-109-020. Would the petitioner approach the podium, please? And your name?
Alyssa Fairbanks.
Excellent. And Alyssa, will you go ahead then, please, and raise your right hand for me? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, go ahead and proceed. Thank you.
I am respectfully requesting your approval to operate a short-term rental at my property located at 221 East Sheen Avenue. I purchased this home in 2004, and over the past 20 years, my husband and I have followed his military career across the country, renting the property to long-term tenants. Now that we've returned to East Peoria and are transitioning to civilian life, we're living in the home while renovating and searching for permanent residence nearby. There are many benefits to converting to a short-term rental, but two key reasons bring me before you today. First, short-term rentals enable us to maintain the property more proactively. In the past, long-term tenants have unfortunately caused significant damage. With short-term guests, we can conduct regular inspections and ensure the home remains in excellent condition. The second, this option allows us the flexibility to host family and friends. After 29 years of military service, we've built strong connections nationwide, and a short-term rental gives us the opportunity to welcome loved ones from afar. We've already invested in major interior upgrades, including new flooring, plumbing, and appliances, and have exterior improvements planned next. Given the large yard and convenient access to the backyard via the alley, we are also exploring possibilities of adding, I know it, additional parking at the rear of the property to ease congestion on Sheen Avenue. To ensure the neighborhood's peace and safety, we will implement clear house rules, no parties, quiet hours after 10 p.m., and guest limits. We will live less than 10 minutes away and will personally manage the property, remaining available 24/7 to promptly address any concerns. This will not be a party house. We have installed Ring security cameras and plan to use smart locks, noise monitors, and security lighting to safeguard the home and neighborhood. Guests will be carefully screened through platforms like Airbnb, Vrbo, or Buildium with verified IDs and reviews. With my background in property management, I have developed extensive expertise in tenant screening, rule enforcement, and protecting properties. Our goal is to be responsible neighbors, support local tourism, and contribute positively to the community without disruption. Thank you for your time and thoughtful consideration.
Okay, questions for Ms. Fairbanks? Tim?
Yeah, Ms. Fairbanks, can you comment on the guest limits that you intend to impose, like total number of guests?
So we definitely want to keep it to 3 to 4 adults. We are going to be welcome to families. It's a really big backyard, but we're going to limit the amount of adults in the house to at least 3 to 4, depending on the family.
Okay. Can you comment on like the total number of bedrooms that you have?
I have 3 bedrooms.
Okay.
The upstairs is big enough to be 2 bedrooms, and I know that later they'll let me know what I'm allowed to rent for once, we keep going, if we do keep going with it.
Okay. So let's say that it was a family, let's say husband, wife, and a family of children. What would be the maximum number that would be able to be housed?
I would say 5 to 6.
Okay.
It does have a full basement too that eventually we'll remodel.
And then if you did remodel that basement, would you intend to increase that number of guests then?
No.
Okay.
That would just be a rec room and additional rooms.
Okay. Do you happen to have a copy of the house rules that you intend to implement?
No, but I can send you them or
Okay.
bring them to you.
Okay. And you mentioned some of them, so that's at least good that there's thought and consideration going into that already. How about like limitations on outdoor activities, like
Yeah,
ending
so-
before a certain period of time?
Yeah, after 10 p.m., nothing outside, no outdoor neighborhood noise or anything like that. And then we have a Ring doorbell on the front and a video camera Ring on the back, so we can see who's coming in and out and activity and kind of monitor that.
How about, you mentioned the parking. Currently, what is the parking situation?
So Sheen has a one-car garage with a really long driveway. And so really only one person can park in there. And I had talked to some other neighbors, and their big nervousness was adding more traffic and parking on the street. So that's why we talked about adding it to the back and kind of easing it. But yeah, one long driveway. You can fit a couple, but really it's just one without moving in and out.
Okay. How much parking would you intend to add to the rear?
About 2 to 3 spaces.
Okay.
And it's right on the back of the fence.
All right. I think that's all the questions I had. Thank you.
Thanks.
Troy?
I think you covered them all.
Okay. Don?
I don't have any questions either, thank you.
George?
I don't have any questions.
Okay, I think.
Thank you, Tim.
Do you
We've
want
been
to
through this once or twice.
Yeah,
That's true, that's true. Okay,
Exactly.
I have a question quick for Ty. If she adds parking to the backyard and it consumes some of the backyard, do we have an issue or follow regulations with covering up, like watershed issues?
No, not offhand.
Okay.
No.
So you mentioned that you have been in the property management business before. Have you ever had a short-term rental like this, like an Airbnb or a VRBO?
I have not. I've done mostly long-term rentals.
Okay.
Yep.
And so I know you're kind of at the beginning stages of
Yes.
all of this, and obviously you've got some homework to do. But with the other ones that have come through, we set it up through the city where the city earns a portion of your receipts, just like we got to get money from people who stay in hotels and motels
Right.
and stuff like that. Normally in the past, if we've approved one, we kind of count the bedrooms and say, okay, there's, 2 people per bedroom, and that's kind of the max, so you would be about 6 adults max. I think we've used the bedroom as kind of a guideline for the maximum number of cars, if I'm not mistaken, and somebody can correct me. So that would be 3 cars max. Some of the ones that we have approved before have quit because they got tired of cleaning up after
Right.
strangers. There's one that's got parking across the street that's Park District property, and occasionally the Park District property gets used as overflow parking, so that's not ideal either. So I guess that's all the questions I had for you, but I'm going to go back. Does anybody else have any questions for Ms. Fairbanks? Okay, I'm going to let you sit down.
Okay, thank
And then I am going to read a couple of the neighbors' concerns. I'll read the short one first. Okay, and this, so we've got an email from Lori Bridgman, and it says she lives at 216 Sheen Avenue. She's lived there for almost 16 years. And her comments are, I am writing you because I am concerned about putting a bed and breakfast across the street from my home on Sheen Avenue. We are a small, quiet neighborhood. Most of us have been here 15 years or more. We have school buses, children waiting on corners for buses. Our parking is limited, and I feel that a bed and breakfast is not a good fit for us. I'm asking you to please take into consideration the families in our quiet, small neighborhood and the safety of our children. We all know our neighbors and would like to keep it that way. The next email is from Matt Langhoff, and he lives at 221 East Sheen Avenue. He says, I, Matt Langhoff, am writing to express my concerns for allowing a special use permit for 221 East Sheen Avenue to allow it to be used as a bed and breakfast. My biggest concern is the safety of the kids, family, elderly in the neighborhood. You may ask why that is so. Let me explain. First, there is a bus stop on the corner near 221 East Sheen. Having a bed and breakfast would bring in many strangers to the neighborhood on a regular basis, which puts the kids waiting on the buses or walking to school at risk of interaction with the strangers. Secondly, it will bring in more traffic to this already busy street. We already have the bus barn and all of its traffic on Sheen Avenue, plus student traffic to school and overall neighborhood traffic. I have expressed concerns to Mayor Call about lack of sidewalks in this neighborhood for kids traveling to and from school or the bus stop. We also have elderly that have to walk in the street along with at least one adult and one child in wheelchairs. The partial pieces of sidewalks are already not ADA compliant, so by adding extra traffic to the neighborhood poses more risk for pedestrians. Thirdly, there already is a lack of parking in the neighborhood. Most of the houses have only single-car driveways, which cause congestion for on-street parking due to high level of rental properties in the neighborhood, which in turn makes walking in the street more dangerous because of lack of visibility due to so many cars parked on the street. There is also a concern for overall street maintenance, potholes starting to form, curbs crumbling, which cause street not to drain properly during heavy rains. Another concern is the lack of property maintenance on most of the rentals in the neighborhood. At any given time, you can come through in the neighborhood and see which homes are rentals due to the lack of maintenance and upkeep. I know the property has been a rental in the past, but at least when it's a regular rental, you don't have to have as many different people in and out of the neighborhood, so you know who belongs and who doesn't. I feel for the property owner, but my main concern is the safety of the neighborhood for my family and the other families that live here permanently. So with all this being said, I'm opposed to the property at 221 East Sheen Avenue being permitted to be used as a bed and breakfast. I'm unable to attend the meeting on 8/11 to express my concerns due to my work schedule at Bradley University. I was told I could email my concerns and they would be read at the time of the meeting. Thank you, Matt Langhoff.
What was his address again?
221.
That's her address.
Oh, sorry.
Is that what it says? If that's what it says, that's,
No, I think he signed it. Maybe he didn't.
I was just curious how close he was.
Ty's gonna look him up. Yeah, I'm looking, just skimming the email. It's the only address I actually see called out is 221 Sheen. Sorry, wasn't paying any attention.
no, it's fine.
And he just signed it his name.
And what was the address of the first one you read?
216.
216 Sheen, okay.
In the meantime, is there anyone in the room who wishes to address the ZBA on this particular case? No one?
Wow.
Okay. Should I go ahead and proceed, Ty? Okay, we'll go ahead and proceed, and we will put that in the minutes. Okay, seeing no one then, we will proceed with the next petition, and that is case SU-2025-011, and that's the petition of Jacob Van Domelen for a special use to allow a community solar project on property located off of Muller Road. And that property ID number is 05-05-10-306-020. Would the petitioner approach the podium, please? Hello, and state your name for us.
My name is Jacob Van Domelen.
Domelen, okay, thank you. And Jacob, will you raise your right hand for me? And do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Excellent. Go ahead and proceed.
Good evening, everyone. This is the presentation for Sunvest Solar LLC, doing business as SVCSG East Peoria. On slide 4 here, this has some project information. It lists the landowner, KKM Properties LLC, also known as Kurt Friedinger, the applicant, Sunvest Solar, doing business as SVCSG East Peoria. And as mentioned, this project is located at the corner of East Motor Road and Pinecrest Drive. We are requesting a special use permit for a community solar facility. The current land use is agricultural, and it is currently zoned residential R3. On slide 5, it has the location of the property in relation to East Peoria, and then has a zoomed-in picture of the parcel. The site plan should be in front of you for any setbacks, any parcel boundaries that you would like to reference.
Questions for Jacob? Tim?
I don't think that I have any questions for Jacob, but maybe a clarifying statement. So in the staff notes, it had mentioned that this property was zoned R4 in the presentation. It's mentioned that it's zoned R3. Can we clarify that?
It's zoned R4.
Okay. Right, that's it.
Was that it?
Yeah, that was it for me.
Okay, I thought,
You're
Troy?
good.
I don't have any questions.
Don?
Yeah, I've got a question or two. It appears in your drawings here that you have a fence. Is that what that is
Correct.
showing around it all?
Yes,
Okay, and it appears you have just one driveway in?
correct.
What is the fence? What's the material? How high is it?
Yeah, it's a knot fence. It should be, there's a close-up picture of it on page or slide 13. It's a knot fence. There's a picture of it, also known as an agricultural fence. So a lot of small animals to go in and out, but keeps larger animals like deer from going inside the fence.
And how tall is that?
8 feet.
8 feet, okay. That's all I had, thank you. Yeah.
Anything else?
That's all I had.
Okay,
Thank you.
George?
Question for Ty. So since that fence 8 foot, we would have to approve that too if we approve this, correct?
We'd add it as a condition, just to make sure it's clear.
Okay. And one question for you. I was reading in the back that when it's all done, 20, 25 years from now, so do you guys have the lease to do it again?
Yeah,
Or-
so how it works, our leases are 25 years with 2 5-year extensions, so a total of 35 years that we would operate the project on that property.
Okay, and I saw that you would take it all down and all that.
Yep.
But is that just in writing, or do you guys put up a bond saying, to cover the expenses in
We
case
do,
you're not
yeah.
here?
Yeah, in addition to, I guess, the security that we post, it's in the AMA, kind of dictated by the state that we have to take down the project at the end of the life of it, but also that we have to post security and I guess bond ourselves and make sure that we do take it down at the life of it,
Okay,
at the end of the life of it.
okay, thank you.
I don't think I have any questions for you, so you can have a seat.
Thank you.
Thanks. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to address the ZBA on this particular issue? Hello.
Hello.
Can you state your name for me and then also where you live in connection to this property in question?
Yeah, my name is Joel Reeker. I live at 113 Chestnut Street, which is off Pinecrest.
Okay,
So,
oh, yeah,
very
definitely.
close.
And so Jake, will you raise your right hand for me?
Yep.
We also have to swear you in. So do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Excellent, go ahead.
So this is, I wouldn't say, it's Joel.
You have, Joel, sorry, you have 5 minutes.
Okay, yeah, no problem. I would say this isn't specific to this solar project, but one comment I would like to make is looking at solar projects around the central Illinois area, it has seemed that the upkeep of the ground around the solar panels is not always taken care of very well. And one of the concerns that I do have here at the city of East Peoria is I have put in complaints of tall grass, and if you go online right now, there's like 300 current complaints that are open for tall grass. So I would keep that in consideration when approving this. Any sort of solar panel, it is very hard to keep the area around it mowed and manicured. Drive by this property a lot and would just like to see it look okay. So just keep that into consideration when we think about tall grasses and things like that around solar areas. So thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to address the ZBA on this particular case? Seeing no one, we will move on then, and we will bring up the last case of the evening, and that is case R-2025-004, and that is the petition of Brian Anderson to rezone property located at the corner of Pinecrest Drive and Cimarron Drive, and that property ID number is 05-05-10-202-005 from R3, two-family dwelling district, to B3, business service district. Would you be Brian?
I am Brian Anderson, yes.
Excellent. Brian, will you raise your right hand for me, and do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, go ahead, please.
My interest is in building a co-working space on that property that is also adjacent to a electric vehicle supercharger. So the idea is that when you travel around the country, you have in a regular combustion vehicle, you have these really big places where you can stop, fill up your gas, and then you know, peruse shopping and relax at a restaurant and things of that nature. People who charge at EV charging stations don't have that luxury, and I think a co-working space, if you're able to pull up to a charger and then leave your vehicle outside charging while you come in and enjoy the Wi-Fi, enjoy the lounge setting, etc., would be a welcome break for EV travelers.
Okay.
So I'm petitioning to get the residential zoning of that property changed to B3.
And I think I clarified it with Ty that it's the B3, or I'm sorry, it's the business use that is brought Mr. Anderson here. It's not necessarily the EV charging stations or anything. And I think we've got some more information emailed to us about the case. Do you have any questions, Tim?
No, I don't have any questions.
Troy?
How many charging stations are we talking about?
Initially, it would just be one charging station capable of charging 2 vehicles at a time.
With the hopes of going to how many? You're not building a building for one charger?
Correct, yeah. Putting another charging station in a position that is conducive to possibly warming the vehicle over the winter months. We've had problems with EV vehicles not taking a charge or taking too long to charge when they're in sub-zero weather.
So 2 would be the max? What's your vision here?
I don't expect to have that many customers for my because of the location. I'm hoping that I attract both local and drive-through vehicles, but because there are already superchargers down here in the riverfront area, I'm really doing it to augment the co-working space.
So 2 is what your plan for now is max?
2 is all I've got planned for now, yeah.
Okay. What about the outside of the building? Where's the parking going to be?
The parking will be alongside the building, and there will be room, I'm expecting, for about 10 to 12 parking spaces.
With 2 of those being a charging station? 4, hopefully.
The charging station, those stations will each have a room for additional cars, so yeah, it'd be 14 then.
Okay.
I wouldn't want people parking there that weren't charging their vehicles.
And then there is plans for landscaping around the building?
Yes, well, we don't have detailed plans yet on, we haven't done any detailed planning or architecture work yet on the building.
Okay. Just so you know, there is a requirement of so much landscaping for a building like that, so
Sure.
it's in the code, I'm sure, so.
Sure, I expect to follow all the code requirements for that.
That's all the questions I have.
A lot of my questions have been answered. You haven't done any design on the building, it sounds like. How about the site? We got some ideas with the parking and that kind of thing. Do you have any other information about the site where this building's going to be? First of all, do you even know what size that the lot is? Because I don't think we got that information.
It's supposed to be 1.18 acres. There's,
Okay.
and the expected size of the building is a 30 by 60 building with an external, hoping 40 by 40 shed. So
Okay, what would the shed be for?
the shed would be for, well, as a co-working space, it's, you know, sometimes co-working is desk jobs,
Okay.
you know, and sometimes co-working has to do with things like maker spaces and
Okay.
and doing lab style work.
Sure,
And so
okay.
we would want to be able to do maybe
Okay.
like woodworking or something.
I gotcha. So 1.1 acres, you got quite a bit of room there to be dealing with this, with the 30 by 60 and 40 by 40. Okay, thank you. That's all I had.
I have no questions for him.
Okay. So I'm envisioning this as is it a two-story building that you plan to put up with a basement?
Correct.
Okay, and so I know you've been to the one-stop shop here at City Hall, and obviously they had some concerns about ADA accessibility, and zoning doesn't necessarily have anything to do with that. But what type of hours would you allow this building to have traffic or, you know, people in and out of? I mean, it is adjacent to a neighborhood and a couple of other residential streets.
The expected hours would be from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. with occasional allowance for meetups to occur at the building up to 9 p.m. So normally the building would be closed after 6 p.m. The chargers would still be accessible, but you wouldn't have the facility access.
Okay, and then who would have access to this building as like an owner or property manager? Is that just you, or are there other people involved?
I expect to hire other people, but it'd be just me for now, yeah.
Okay.
If I could speak real quick on the ADA accessibility, I know this is zoning completely different. Just to let you know, and you guys probably came up with this as well, in the state of Illinois, if you have 1,000 square feet above or below the main level, you need to have elevator access. So it's a little different in the other state. They're usually 3,000 square feet. I believe you have over 1,000, so that's something you'll need to think about and look into.
Okay.
Does East Peoria have anything different than that you know of?
No, we do not, but we would follow Illinois Accessibility Code.
Which is 1,000, which is different than any other state, so something to
Okay,
keep in mind.
thanks for that.
Yep.
Heads up. Appreciate it.
One more question. Will you have a max capacity? I'm just talking about the parking, and I see the meeting rooms downstairs and that kind of stuff. Is there like a max capacity for the building when it comes to overflow
I
parking
expect
and
to
that kind of
run this
stuff?
as a subscription service, so we'll probably oversell subscription to the building, but we won't expect everybody to turn up all day long every day. So I'm expecting max capacity to be between 20 and 30 people.
And then what would you do with additional parking if you only have 14 spots out front?
Yeah. If we don't have enough parking up front, there's no real on-the-street parking. So you couldn't park along Pinecrest, obviously, and we wouldn't want people parking along Cimarron. So when the parking spaces are exhausted, that's pretty much when we have to start turning people away.
that it, Troy?
Yeah, I'm done, sorry.
Okay. And then I guess I have a question for Ty. In the ordinances I read where I think the building has to sit, whatever it is, 10 or 15 feet from a property line or whatever, together with the building that he's thinking of building and the 40 by 40 shed, are there any concerns about that being too close to a property line or taking up too much of this 1.1 acres?
So the rezoning tonight is really focused on just the uses that can go into the overall. The specific use, while certainly is kind of the trigger to start this, is something we really need to get into. But all the required setbacks would have to be followed. Adjacency to residential properties would have to have a buffer yard be installed and to meet those requirements as well too. So any use that would go in there would have to follow those setback requirements.
Okay.
So what is, you said a buffer yard between the residential area
Yes.
and this, what is that? I'm just curious because I have a feeling we're going to be
It starts at a minimum
discussing
of
that.
10 feet of depth, but it's a combination of screening and setback, and we haven't looked at it specifically for this
Okay.
project, but there
Depends
would
on
be,
property use.
proximity to residential is going to trigger that buffer yard requirement.
There is a set of woods behind the property that extends well over 10 feet.
And are you
into
taking
the
any, are
property.
you planning to take any of those trees down?
I will take as few trees down
Okay.
as I possibly can.
Yeah.
So my goal is to keep as many trees as possible.
Sure.
Okay, well, I am addressing the ZBA as much as I am you. I think your ideas seem very creative, and I think that's wonderful. You don't have a design, a plan yet, and which obviously has to go through the city and be approved, but should your business not work out, the other businesses that are zoned B3 that could move in there are very different and very much less desirable on Pinecrest than what you're proposing. And so while I like your ideas and I like what you're doing, I'm very fearful that the other businesses that could come in after you are not what's even already on Pinecrest. I mean, automotive things, and I know there's already a requirement on Pinecrest, I think, for a new building, has to have some brick on the, you know, the exterior and that sort of thing. But the types of other businesses that are B3, are what really concerns me. I don't know how anybody's going to vote, but my suggestion is, if, however this goes, is if you can somehow tweak your plans to be B2, I personally would be more apt to approve it, but I'm speaking for just me, so that's all. I don't have any other questions.
Could we get a quick review of the difference between B2 and B3? For instance, this is an exit off the interstate, and there's very little, if any, public facilities there. Where does a gas station plug into this, or a convenience store, fast food, that kind of thing?
So a gas station would require a special use by its nature. It could potentially house a drive-through business. I think when we looked at this, we struggled a little bit with, could this fit under B2? B2, you know, could you call the co-working space something more akin to a hobby shop? You know, the office part is pretty easy, but the part where you've got some, and that's where we kind of struggle with it. B3 gives you a little more flexibility. Could this work in a B2? Possibly. I mean, the vehicle charging is still a permitted use, so it really comes down to, you know, how do you see the co-working space, particularly that which is not office related? Is that very active? And I think, you know, what we look at is are there negative externalities that occur? You know, is there lots of sound or smoke or noise or something that's generated by something like this? I don't know that we have that here, but it's just trying to think through all the possibilities and potential kind of worst case scenarios to make sure that we're thinking through any opportunities.
Can we put limitations? If we call it a B3, can we put limitations on the B3?
So it'd be triggered by a special use, but we don't have that in this case.
You're just rezoning now.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, but can we rezone it to an amended B3 or something?
Not that we've done before, no.
Okay, that's
No,
basically
typically where the conditions come in is
making
where
a
they're
B.
asking for something out of the ordinary.
Yeah, we'd be making a B4 basically. We'd be
Yeah.
making a new one. Okay.
I mean,
I was
this
just curious.
is a little, you know, traditional zoning codes, like ours, really didn't contemplate these types of uses. I mean,
Yes.
we're seeing, there's a lot of demand for this type of co-working space. So that it's out there, and it's probably something we need to look at as a group to see, where does it fit within our zoning code? Because there really isn't a good fit. Like I said, we looked at, would you call this a hobby shop? And it's not really a hobby shop. But it was
But
hard
it's
to
not,
fit within
it's,
B2.
it's not industrial either,
Yeah.
and that's, yeah.
One potential would be to look at, do you say, well, the idea is not a bad one, but we'd like to have some opportunities for controls or conditions based upon input from the neighbors? Do you say, come back to us with a proposal to offer this as a possible special use in a B2? We got to go through that rezoning and a special use. Then you can impose the conditions. But
Does this go to the city council?
the rezoning would, yes.
Okay.
So the property across the street, like LS and them, is that zone B3
That has an
already?
M1 zoning. That has an M1 zoning.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah. The corridor is a bit of a mix. You have some existing houses that are there that have been there for a long time. You've got, our comprehensive plan, the current future land use map shows this property as multifamily. But the corridor itself is certainly gravitating towards more commercial, light industrial uses. So there are inherent challenges there with having residential right next to something like this. What's the right fit to make sure you allow the residential to remain, but also allow progress and development to occur as well. Not always an easy balance.
Is it possible to approve the main building as he's proposed and then ask him to come back for the maker space for special use, where we could put some rules on it as to what it could be?
We're not approving the building now.
I
It's
know.
just
Okay.
changing the zone.
Thank you, Troy.
Well, we could change it from R3 to B2, so we could put the office building in, and not the makerspace, right?
Well, and that's, I guess, my concern is I went through the ordinances and the other B3 businesses that could potentially move
Right.
in there do not fit our comprehensive plan.
Right.
At
So-
all.
So we could zone it to B2, so he could
He could do the building.
do the office, but not the maker yet until we did something else.
Okay.
And
I would be,
well, let's see if there's other
Yeah.
individuals that want to discuss this, and
yes. But I just, that's kind of where I was headed, so. Okay, any other questions for Brian? Brian, you are welcome.
Thank you very much.
Brian, would you have any problem with a B2 zoning instead of a B3 zoning?
As long as, I think everything I want to do in the office space, the office space was going to be the first building up on the property, and then the shed was going to be added later. So I don't have any problem with starting with B2 and then expanding or getting some kind of exception for the shed makerspace.
I think the concern is that if we zoned it B3 and then your plan fell through, it now opens it up to anything else that falls under the B3 zoning code. So I think that's the concern of the board. Thank you.
Okay, you can go ahead and have a seat.
Thank you.
Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to address the zoning board on this particular case? Joel,
That is correct.
did I get it right this time? Good job. And do I have to re-swear him in? You're good. Go ahead.
Perfect. Yeah, I live at 113 Chestnut Street. This property is in my backyard, so this would be the backyard of my property. I would respectfully ask that this does not get rezoned to anything business. This is a residential area. We purchased this property because this was a residential area. I think his idea is great, and I think there are plenty of other spaces in East Peoria that a business could go. but I would respectfully ask that. Also, I did look, it is just over an acre. However, the back of this property, like he said, is a wooded area that goes down into a creek. The plans that he mentioned as far as the 14 parking spots, the 2 separate buildings, they would definitely have to be doing some grading work on the back of that, taking down some trees, and that is, like I said, that would be my backyard. Behind this property is also zoned multifamily and is for sale, and so that's what our backyard is. So I would ask that the board respectfully keep this a residential area. Thank you.
Anyone else in the audience wish to address this particular case? Hello, please
Hi.
state your name for us.
Deanna Roll.
And Deanna, where do you live in connection with the property?
I don't yet. We bought property around the corner on Cimarron with
Uh-huh.
plans to build a home. And so when we came tonight, my first concern was like,
Yes, thank
what
you,
kind
Jo.
of noises?
I need to swear
gonna
you
be-
in.
Oh,
I'm getting multiple reminders. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Go ahead.
We'll see if her story changes now that she's.
Yeah, now that she's, yeah.
Well, when I came here tonight, my concern, one of my main concerns was what's going to be there and what kind of noise is it going to make, as in like car tools all day long or power, something making noise. But now, I was sitting here before you started to speak with the next concern was well, if his business changes or once you get the zoning, what else could end up going in there? And it all seems a little vague to me, what I've heard right now. The shed part, talking about putting up later, that could be the noise factor. But, yeah, I'm just kind of like, that's residential, and sort of everything on the, right around it is surrounded by residential. And I know there's other businesses around and such, but just that particular spot just sort of seems like it should stay residential, or at least be like what you're talking, where it would be a quiet office and not something that's going to be major traffic and lots of noise and super busy. So if you could keep those things in mind when you're deciding, please. Thank you.
Anyone else in the audience wish to address the zoning board on this particular case? Will you state your name for me?
Chad Nelson,
And Chad, where do you live in connection with the property in question?
right next to it, 325 Pinecrest.
Will you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thanks, Chad.
So I've got concerns with the property lines. So like they put markers out, and I don't know how they did it or who did it, but it's 3 feet from my house. Well, I'd have to go get my deed out and look, but I don't know what the rules are. If it's 10 feet, there's some perimeter. And like you said, if he builds a Morton building, do I get to listen to that all night? You know, I don't. I have a family. There's a family directly north, you know, little kids. You know, Joel's got little kids. We're all little kids in the neighborhood. You know, we don't really want travelers coming through. It's a residential area. The idea is great, but I don't know that it's for the spot. And it concerns me that it's that close. And like you said, what comes in next?
Anyone else in the audience wish to address the zoning board on this particular case? Okay, seeing no one, we will move on then with deliberations, and that means we will pull back up case SU-2025-009, and that would be the petition of Scott Breenan, thank you, of the loft rehab for a shed. So after conducting after conducting public hearing and considering the facts, the Zoning Board of Appeals makes the following finding of fact and recommendation. Will the establishment, maintenance, and operation of the proposed special use permit be detrimental to or endanger the public health, safety, morals, comfort, or general welfare?
No.
No.
Will the proposed special use permit be injurious to the use or permitted in the district?
No.
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 Will the proposed special use permit diminish or impair property values within the surrounding neighborhood?
No.
No.
Will the establishment of the proposed special use permit impede the orderly development or improvement of surrounding property for uses permitted in the subject zoning district?
No.
R, have adequate utilities, access roads, drainage, or other necessary facilities to be or been provided?
Yes.
Yes.
R, have adequate measures to be or been taken to provide ingress and egress from the site, minimizing traffic congestion and hazards on public streets?
Yes.
Yes.
Will the proposed special use permit conform to all other applicable regulations of the zoning district?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Discussion, or do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve this one as presented. Case number SU-2025-009.
Okay, do I have a second to that motion?
Second.
Thank you, Troy and Don. Roll call vote?
Driscoll,
Yes.
Whitman,
Yes.
Tippett,
Yes.
Sams,
Yes.
Kelly.
Yes.
All voting in favor. And that will go to the city council next Tuesday night. Right here in the same room. You don't, not necessarily, I mean, it's never a bad idea, but no, you don't have to be here. Typically where you have some debate or contention, then you definitely want to attend, but it's not mandatory.
Okay. Next up is case SU-2025-010. That's the petition of Alyssa Fairbanks for Airbnb short-term rental type of situation at 221 East Sheen Avenue. Will the establishment, maintenance, and operation of the proposed special use permit be detrimental to or endanger the public health, safety, morals, comfort, or general welfare?
No.
No.
Maybe. Will the proposed special use permit be injurious to the use or permitted in the district?
No.
No.
Will the proposed special use permit diminish or impair property values within the surrounding neighborhood?
No.
Will the establishment of the proposed special use permit impede the orderly development or improvement of surrounding property for uses permitted in the subject zoning district?
No.
R, have adequate utilities, access roads, drainage, or other necessary facilities to be or been provided?
Yes.
Yes.
R, have adequate measures to be been taken to provide ingress and egress from the site, minimizing traffic congestion and hazards on public streets?
Yes.
Yes.
Will the proposed special use permit conform to all other applicable regulations of the zoning district?
Yes.
Okay. Discussion? Motion?
So I support this case, and I would recommend the following conditions in making a motion on this, but I want to discuss those and get them documented before we move forward. That way we don't forget anything. So I would, just based on the conversation with the petitioner, I'm thinking maximum 6 guests, no more than 3 vehicles, no on-street parking, and no outdoor activity after 10 p.m. and a copy of the property rules, house rules need to be provided to the city upon approval.
Is that your motion?
No, that's not that's just a discussion related to conditions. I just want to make sure I didn't forget anything.
I would second that motion if that was your motion. I don't have any other discussion. I think you covered it.
Not either.
I think you just go back and make that a motion, Tim.
Okay. I just want to make sure I jot this down. That way I don't forget my own things that I just said.
I got maximum 6 guests, up to 3 vehicles, no off-street parking or activities after 10 p.m. Copy of house rules on file with the city.
Okay. All right, so I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve case SU-2025-010 with the following conditions: maximum 6 guests, no more than 3 vehicles, no on-street parking, a limit to 10 p.m. for outdoor activities, and a set of the house rules needs to be submitted to the city upon approval.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Troy.
Ready?
Roll call vote?
Driscoll.
No.
Whitman.
Yes.
Tippit.
Yes.
Samms.
Yes.
Kelly.
Yes.
Motion passes.
That will also go before City Council next Tuesday at 6 p.m.
And can I make a note? It is recommended that you are here for that.
Okay, next up, case SU-2025-011, and that is off of Muller Road, property ID number 05-05-10-10-306-020, currently farmland. The petitioner Jacob Van Dommelen. And with the findings, I'll go, will the establishment, maintenance, and operation of the proposed special use permit be detrimental to or endanger the public health, safety, morals, comfort, or general welfare?
No.
Possibly.
Will the proposed special use permit be injurious to the use or permitted in the district?
No.
No.
Will the proposed special use permit diminish or impair property values within the surrounding neighborhood?
Possibly.
Will the establishment of the proposed special use permit impede the orderly development or improvement of surrounding property for uses permitted in the subject zoning district?
No.
No.
R, have adequate utilities, access roads, drainage, or other necessary facilities to be been provided?
Yes.
R, have adequate measures to be been taken to provide ingress and egress from the site, minimizing traffic congestion and hazards on public streets?
Yes.
Yes.
Will the proposed special use permit conform to all other applicable regulations in the zoning district?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I say something?
Oh, and George, yeah, what, go ahead to your microphone.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to make a statement here. I will not support this, and the biggest reason is East Peoria is running out of housing space. We have no place to expand. It's getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and I don't feel it does the city justice to put in a solar field, and then we have no expansion for housing, so our city can grow. So I will not support this tonight.
Thank you, George. Any other comments or discussion? Do I have a motion?
Well, I was going to comment on, just to echo George is, I'm not suggesting that there's other properties available for this type of project, but that zoning is, one that is not in, we don't have an abundance of. So I believe that I would probably not support this with George.
Well, somebody can make a motion to deny, or somebody can make a motion to approve, and then we can vote however we feel.
I'll make a motion to deny this case number SU 2025-011.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, George and Tim. Roll call vote?
Driscoll.
Yes.
Whitman.
No.
Tippit.
Hang on a second.
Wait a minute,
Whoa, whoa.
wait a minute.
Hang on a second.
You made a
The
motion
motion
to
is to-
deny.
Yeah, yes.
Tippit.
Now I'm all confused. No.
Samms.
Yes.
Kelly.
Yes.
Motion is denied, or petition is denied. Okay. Next up is case R-2025-004, and that is the petition of Brian Anderson to rezone property from R3 two-family dwelling to B3 Business Service District at the corner of Pinecrest and Cimarron, property ID number 050510-202-005. After conducting a public hearing and considering the facts, the Zoning Board of Appeals makes the following finding of fact and recommendation. Will the proposed rezoning conform with existing uses of the property in the surrounding area? No.
No.
Yes and no.
Will the proposed rezoning conform with the existing zoning of the property in the surrounding area?
No.
Mostly no. Is the property suitable to the uses permitted under the proposed zoning classifications?
Yes.
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 Does the lot possess one of the following: 200 feet of frontage, 25,000 square feet of area, or adjoin a lot with the same zoning classification?
Yes.
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 Will the proposed rezoning be injurious to the surrounding property or improvements?
No.
Possibly.
Discussion?
I'm not making a motion yet, but I do like the idea, and if we need more information, that's fine. I do like the idea, if we were to make a motion, is to start off with the B2 zoning, and then potentially go with a special use later for the maker building, or convert it to B3 at that point is a possibility as well. Does that make sense to do it as a B2 and then go with a special use later on for that, or would we automatically? My idea is to keep it out of the B3.
Right.
Is that possible?
So we'd have to come back with some sort of code change for the special use for the maker's space piece of it. That B2 would allow the office use and the charging stations.
And then at that point, we would have more information, hopefully maybe some plans or some ideas of exactly what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, a
And that-
special use would be specific to the project, and so then conditions.
So
would
we
be-
could do that and keep it out of B3.
Correct.
The 40 by 40 would also require a special use as is, just because it's going to be larger. Larger than
Okay.
our normal allotment for
Okay,
for a size of an accessory structure.
okay.
So it'll still come back before this board, once plans and all that stuff are drawn.
So I'll sit back and let other people talk, but my thought is maybe, that's just my idea, is maybe we look at it as a B2. I do appreciate, by the way, all of the neighbors that came up. I think there was 3 on this particular one. Very professional, very well done. I appreciate that. I appreciate you being here and bringing these items up as well, absolutely. And I certainly can see the exact same concern you have.
So, point of clarification, so because this case is a proposed rezoning to B3, does that mean we deny it as is? And then it has to be resubmitted
Can we just
as another case?
That's a good question, and it may be something that we need to talk to the city attorney's office about. If you wanted to say B3 is a bridge too far, B2 would be the recommendation to go to city council.
Oh.
Does that stand as is, or does that need to go back through the process again?
We can't just change the number?
Well, if we're going to talk about
Give it a minute.
potential zoning regulation language changes anyway, it might even just be easiest to deny this as is and then make the zoning change in reference to the potential zoning case that individual wishes to seek, and then hear both of those cases at the same time. But this property also has similar zoning to the previous case that I did not support, and I don't intend to support this one either, so moot point on my end, but just wanted to bring up for kind of point of process.
Yeah, I would think that approach is also possible too, to just deny it as is and come back with the revision and the special use code change. It would also require another step to come back for the special use, so it does protract it out some, but would give everybody a chance to weigh in on the specific project.
Might also, the residents may, get more clarification.
Yeah.
And, have some other additional understanding, get some comfort about the uses, and it may change, certain opinions. There was also strong opposition, from the residents that spoke here regarding, the use of this property. And that's totally understandable in my opinion.
Yeah, if we were to deny it as a B3, I would certainly highly encourage the petitioner to come back looking at a B2, and then maybe even, depending on the time frame, maybe have more information, maybe have some rough thoughts and ideas of a site layout of these buildings and where they're going and that kind of thing, to see how we are impacting or not impacting the neighbors and that kind of thing. That is my thought, but
I'll go ahead and make a motion that we deny case R 2025004.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, roll call vote.
Driscoll,
Yes.
Whitman,
Yes.
Tippit,
Yes.
Sams,
Yes.
Kelly.
Yes.
Petition is denied. Okay. And now we're finished with deliberations. Do we have any old business? Any new business? Okay, and now would be the citizens' opportunity to address the Zoning Board of Appeals on non-agenda items. So you could have 5 minutes to tell us what you think.
Easy.
Yeah, you are streamed live on Facebook. Keep that in mind. Anyone? Okay, seeing no one, then I believe we talked about this before. I think Robert's Rules of Order say I don't need to have a vote to adjourn. Okay, as chairman of the ZBA, I'm going to say this meeting is adjourned. We are finished for the evening. We will reconvene next month. Thank you all.